afternoon, Diane at Fifi and Fidos again. This is going to be the last in our series for senior dogs. Again, we started this just because we get constant questions about why at 15 she is able to be as energetic and as active as she is. And so I thought it would be a good idea just to explain some of the things that I personally do for my dog. Last week we talked about turmeric and I got into some of the technical details and everybody's going, wait, what? So what I'm going to do now is just go over it again a little bit, make it a little bit easier to understand. And I never did explain this box, and that's one thing I'm going to explain. And then we're going to go into a different thing, one of the last supplements that I give my dog here in a minute. When it comes to turmeric, we've had the discussion about the difference between, using turmeric like this and turmeric supplements, which are, most of them are called curcumin supplements. One of the reasons we want to use turmeric in this form is because it's way more bioavailable. A lot of the curcumin extracts have thousands of milligrams of extract, and this may have 3 to 5% of curcumin inherent in this particular plant rhizome. You don't need a lot of it, and again, there's 200 other components in the turmeric root or rhizome that are very important for the overall activity of this. The reason I'm pointing to this is for people who are looking at doing, trying the paste for themselves or for the dogs. This is an easy peasy way of going. This is one of my distributors, New Naturals, has these kits, which are great. She has this kit, which is perfect, everything that you need to have for one batch of the golden paste. It has a complete list of instructions, how to cook it, how to start, and everything else. One of the confusing parts is Dr. Doug English, who's the Australian veterinarian I mentioned last week, is one of the people, he is the person that actually has pioneered the use of turmeric in animals. He started using it many, many years ago in his practice. He's a large animal equine vet. He used it on horses to counteract sarcoid tumors, which are cancerous tumor that is caused by the bovine papillomavirus. And it has since morphed into this huge thing, using it on all manner of animals, everything from chickens to dogs to cats, of course, to people and things like that. But the thing about this is the golden paste is something that he formulated based on the way that the Indian and Asian populations traditionally had used turmeric. Being the kind of guy that he is, he didn't get a patent on it or anything. He can't patent a food. But what's happened over time, and you'll see it everywhere, turmeric has become a big buzzword. It's everywhere. And there are an awful lot of people who have taken the original recipe and altered it, changing the amount of the ingredients, the ratio of the ingredients, the cooking times, and all this neat stuff that make it a little bit less effective. And what I wanted to talk about today is why the ingredients are in the order that they are and how you're supposed to cook it. And it's very important. But if you get a recipe for the golden paste off of the internet or off of one of the blogger pages, odds are it's not the right one. And again, the biggest problem that we see with turmeric paste is a lot of these people that took the recipe, altered it, put it out as their own, are starting to recommend that you feed by weight. And we absolutely know that is not correct. Turmeric is based on metabolism and body chemistry of that individual. I take more than somebody that weighs 200 pounds that I know does. And he can't only handle about a half teaspoon. I could easily take a teaspoon 3 times a day with no problem. And it's the same thing for Chica. Chica's 45 pounds. She gets about 3/4 of a teaspoon. But there's a 100-pound Great Dane, 100-plus pound Great Dane in the turmeric users group, and that Great Dane can barely handle a half teaspoon, but gets the results from it because his body chemistry, metabolism, that's the perfect amount for that particular dog. So, when you're making the paste, what we need you to do is be conscious of that, use the correct recipe, and make sure that you're following the instructions as far as, the amount and how you dose that. The next one I wanted to talk to you about is, it's palmitoyl-tholamide. It's a big long word, and everybody's cheering for me because that's a mouthful. Basically, it's called PEA. And this is something that I added into Chica's regimen about 3 months ago, I think. I'd heard about it. It was hard to find in the United States and hard to find a well-made one in the United States. This one is a U.S. company. The company is Vitalitas. And basically what it is it's something our own bodies make. It's synthesized and results, to inflammation in the body, whatever that inflammation is. But, sometimes we need additional help, and Chica evidently did. Within about 2 to 3 weeks, I noticed a significant speed up in her walking. She began to trot again. And her veterinarian, who also does chiropractic on her, was quite impressed with the fact that her paws were much more flexible and she was actually able to pop one of those toes. Okay, this is osteoarthritis in these feet. That's not, that's remarkable that it makes such a difference and such a change in that. I also, the Soothamite also has the PEA in it as well, and it's a lotion. And what I'm using it for with her is older dogs' pads tend to get dry and cracked. And I'm putting this on her back pads, and also she has a corn because of the deformed feet. And I'm using that, and it absolutely helps make it a lot easier for her to walk, and it keeps that corn from becoming a major irritation. We still have to shave that down a little bit. But, so it's just, it's been pretty much of a miracle. It specifically acts against 2 kinds of cells in the body. The glial cells, which are in the brain and in the central nervous system, as well as mast cells, which are everywhere in the body. And they come up as a result of inflammation in the body. And so this kind of helps to counter it. It's one of those things that I won't be without. I'm taking it myself. My personal results with this are an improvement in my night vision, and also an improvement in the time from what I call recovery time, from looking down at a computer screen and getting up and going out and seeing, I can see much better. The recovery time from being somewhat blurred to being clear is significantly less. So it's something for both the critters and for ourselves. There is no dosing on this specifically for dogs. Dr. Judy Morgan, who I know many of you follow on Facebook, has a thing on it. If you get on her Facebook page, I think you can search and find the PEA one. And she does break it down a little bit. Chica gets 1 capsule 2 times a day. Tipper, were I to give it to him, would get a half capsule. Half capsule in the morning, half capsule at night. So you can, take it, up and down on that. And don't feel like you have to take notes and know all this. This time what we're going to do is we're going to put links to all this stuff in the comments section under this. So in a day or so, if you want to come back and take a look at some of the comments on here, that's going to, you'll be able to get all this information, so you don't have to worry about losing it or not knowing what it is. But overall, again, just to kind of recap, feeding a species-appropriate diet for Chica has been one thing that has really helped her. She's not eating carbs and sugar, which, of course, as we talked about earlier, creates inflammation in the body. Everything that I do supplement-wise helps to counter that inflammation. It helps to boost the immune system. In future live events, we're going to talk a little bit more about maintaining and gaining health. We're going to talk about allergies. We're going to talk about gut health and things like that in the future. But this, for older dogs, is a game changer for them. And we've seen people who have come in with dogs who are barely able to move, and when they start doing some of these anti-inflammatory supplementations, and again, consulting with your vet just in case there's any medication interactions or anything, but it's made a remarkable difference to so many of the lives of so many of the animals that we see here all the time. So until next time, that's it for the senior dog, and then next time we'll go into some other details on different things. Thanks for joining us today.